Good afternoon and welcome to Lariat TV News Today. I'm Bailey Bramer.
And I'm Melanie Pace. Thanks for joining us. The CareNet Guest House provides pregnant women faced with homelessness a place to live and gain independence. I toured the guest house to learn how these women are empowering themselves and each other.
The women come in with just maybe a grocery sack or two of their belongings, even with children.
CareNet in WACO provides pregnant homeless women with a place to live and learn independence.
There's not another place in WACO for a pregnant woman to go with children to live, and especially for free. We look at getting them stable housing, stable income, stable transportation, and stable child care. Those are the four things that she must have in place in order to be independent.
CareNet's program includes classes, childcare, food, and community.
And this is our baby boutique, and they come on Thursdays, and they use points that they've earned during the week, and they can shop in the boutique then to get things they need for the baby.
Many women are ready to leave the facility within 6 months.
And some girls, although it wasn't a requirement of ours, will continue on in their education. They'll actually start thinking by looking at what somebody else is accomplishing, I can do that, and they never even thought about it.
For Lariat TV News, I'm Melanie Pace.
3 wildfires have spread rapidly across California and led to the deaths of at least 66 people. Northern California's Camp Fire has affected areas primarily in Butte County, located a couple hours north of San Francisco and Sacramento, with more than 220,000 residents. 2 other fires, the Woolsey and Hill fires, have affected areas around Los Angeles. The Woolsey fire alone has led to the evacuation of over 75,000 homes and has grown to 14,000 acres. Approximately 600 people are missing, and this toll is expected to rise, likely making this the deadliest wildfire in California's history.
Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee is working to change its interlocking BU logo that appears on athletic equipment after trademark conflicts from Baylor. Jason Rogers, Belmont's Vice President for Administration and University Council, told Belmont Vision that the 2 schools have been discussing the dispute for the past 6 months. Belmont is phasing out the interlocking logo and working to introduce a new one. Jason Cook, Baylor's Vice President for Marketing Communications and Chief Marketing Officer, told the Vision that Baylor is not seeking legal action and only wants to preserve its trademark.
Most Baylor students are familiar with the gold-domed building on campus.
LTVN's Julia Lorenz tells us more about what goes on inside this famous university landmark.
What is inside there and what happens inside there?
That is the question most students have about Patton F Hall. We walk past this symbol of Baylor every single day and see it all over social media. But do we really know what goes on inside? I asked a few Baylor students their ideas.
I think that there's the royal family lives in there.
A giant vault of gold. They ring bells in Patton F.
Probably just meeting rooms for important Baylor people. I think it's some kind of government building, or I don't know, maybe, who knows, maybe they have aliens in there.
Admissions maybe, or maybe I feel like there could be a secret office or something, I don't know.
Lori Fogelman, Assistant Vice President for Media Communications and University Spokeswoman, sat down with me to provide the Baylor community with a little clarity as to what happens inside Patton F Hall.
Patton F Hall is actually a combination of administrative and academic functions. It is an historic building on our campus. A lot of people very familiar with it. It has the 4 pillars, which mean a lot to us at Baylor when you think about the 4 pillars at Independence. You also hear the bells of the McLean Carillon every day when you're walking across campus.
There are 13 different offices and about 70 employees. Patton F is divided among floors, and what we would be most familiar with is the office of the president on the 1st floor, along with the office of the provost. The 2nd floor is the office of investments and finances, along with the general counsel and attorneys. The 3rd floor houses governmental relations, institutional effectiveness, board professionals and regents, graduate professional education, and vice provost for research. Lastly, the 4th floor is the Institute for Studies of Religion.
You look at the cornerstones and you look at the inscriptions on the building. It's a building that has a lot of meaning when you walk past it and you take an opportunity to stop and read and look and listen. it has a lot more than just the everyday work that goes on inside the building.
For Lariat TV News, I'm Julia Lorenz.
Baylor's biannual Steppin' Out took place last Saturday and offered students a chance to improve the lives and scenery of the WACO community. This service event had 2,100 volunteers this year in almost 70 locations, which is the largest number of service sites in Steppin' Out history, according to a Baylor press release. Steppin' Out can expose students who are not already serving in the community to the value of these opportunities.
Alpha Phi will be the newest addition to Baylor Greek life as the Panhellenic Council voted in favor of accepting the national sorority on Tuesday. Alpha Phi was founded in 1872 and boasts Greek involvement on 171 campuses across the nation and has over 200,000 sorority members. Dakota Lindsay, Director of Marketing and Communications for Alpha Phi, said the sorority is looking forward to joining the Baylor community. Alpha Phi will make its debut next spring and will participate in the first day of recruitment.
Thousands gather together on campus every year for a very special tradition involving food, friends, and fun. LTVN's Kennedy Dendy spoke with students about one of Baylor's most popular events, All University Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody! We're so glad you're here!
It's Thanksgiving time. Well, at least for around 9,000 members of the Baylor and Waco community who arrived at one of 3 dining halls for a traditional Thanksgiving meal. This year, the event was held indoors due to unpredictable weather conditions.
We really like to put this on every year for the whole Waco community, for them to come and get together and have some food, especially for some of the people who aren't able to get Thanksgiving. We want to be able to provide that. And so it's a really big event that we enjoy to have for not just Baylor, but the entire Waco community.
This annual All-University Thanksgiving provided a space for all members of the community to gather together and enjoy a variety of popular Thanksgiving items, while keeping the true meaning in mind.
Celebrating what God is doing in your life and just being thankful for your friends and your family and all that God's blessed you with at the current time. So.
Thanksgiving is kind of a time for everyone to come together and just be thankful for their family, but to express what they're thankful for throughout the year.
Friendship, food, fun. I think that sums it up pretty well. Just a time to be thankful for all that you have and get good food.
To me, Thanksgiving means getting around a table and spending time with the ones you love, regardless if it's family or friends, and enjoying a good meal and being thankful for what you have.
The night continued on with introductions by the junior class officers, various student performances, and even a few words from President Livingstone and the First Gentleman. Food items were collected and t-shirts were sold to benefit the store, Baylor's on-campus food pantry.
Every year we decide to sell t-shirts and other things like that for a local proceeds all go to the store, which is a community-driven service place where people can donate, and it's really good to also benefits the community as well.
For Lariat TV News, I'm Kennedy Dendy.
There are a lot of new movies opening this weekend, but one story in particular that many students grew up with.
We've got the details coming up right after this.
It's not just a school to me, it's home. Home.
Everyone's there to help you and to see you succeed.
Challenging.
I'm here, I can do this. Friends.
Friendship.
Relationships.
There's people that know you and people that are there for you around every corner.
It's a shared experience. Rigorous.
Growth.
Transformative. Tradition.
Faith.
I've loved every second of it. It's family.
It's home.
It's Baylor.
The new Fantastic Beasts movie premiered on Thursday night, but many Baylor students may not have grown up around the Harry Potter stories because of their Christian upbringing. A Baylor English professor told LTVN's Jenna Welch how the series is, in fact, one of the best versions of the Christian story.
The books themselves are not satanic, and in fact, early on, J.K. Rowling responded to some of those early objections by talking about how she was actually a person of faith. You know, her children were christened, and that she had modeled the shape of the entire Harry Potter narrative, all 4,100 pages of it, on the Christian gospel. But it was hard for some people to hear that, and so many people responded to it without ever reading it. What I like to tell people is that if you can get past that nervousness, that it's an incredibly well-told version of the Christian story.
Some parents have steered their kids away from reading the Harry Potter books or even watching the movies because they may allude to satanic or unchristian ideals. However, Dr. Garrett explains that inside J.K. Rowling's books are found adventure, love, friendship, and forgiveness, all of which mirror themes from the Bible. I interviewed a Baylor student who wasn't allowed into the Harry Potter world to hear if he felt like he was missing out.
I got that my parents, wanted what was best for me, and they didn't want me being exposed to the devil or whatever. And so I understood sort of where they were coming from, but I also didn't.
On Wednesday afternoon, WACO Singing Seniors performed a holiday concert in Armstrong Browning Library. The choir was founded in 1983 and currently has around 85 members. The goal of the group is to provide senior citizens a venue to continue singing. Despite some health issues, the group maintains about 95% attendance for their bi-weekly rehearsals. Though a local choir, they have performed as far away as New York City's Carnegie Hall. They will be performing their final show of the season at 5 p.m. on November 25th at Columbus Avenue Baptist Church in downtown Waco.
The BowBow Spiritual Life Center hosted its second annual Friendsgiving event on Tuesday night. LTVN's Kennedy Dindy spoke with students about their takeaways as they gathered in unity.
Cultural humility. These two words sparked important discussion on Tuesday night at the BowBow Spiritual Life Center, where open dialogue was created over a Thanksgiving meal.
It's just having compassion towards other cultures versus instead of toleration, so to speak.
Respecting people, even if you don't necessarily understand the culture.
Being able to appreciate other people's cultures, even though it may not match with yours.
You have to be able to, view other cultures relative to their own cultures and not base it on your own.
Students also dissected the concept of fasting and what that meant personally to them.
And at the end of the day, it's kind of it's more of a practice to teach you self-control, I guess, and also appreciation for things that you don't have.
Finding a moment of silence in the midst of a really cluttered, noisy world.
A lot of people have heard of the concept, but not a lot of people have really delved into it or even considered what that'd be like.
Canned food donations were collected to help fight food insecurity, as well as monetary donations to purchase sleeping bags for refugees in Rome, Italy.
We would be able to get so much more done, period, as a society if people just had more cultural humility and appreciation for how other people live their lives and not just their own.
It gives everyone a platform to speak their mind, and that matters.
For Lariat TV News, I'm Kennedy Dindy.
Campus-wide blanket and jacket drive was organized by San Antonio Junior Elena Huerta after volunteering and witnessing the effects of homelessness on the Waco community. The drive was sponsored by a partnership between Baylor's Multicultural Association of Pre-Health Students, the American Medical Women's Association, and the Latino Pre-Health Student Association. The drive accepts blankets and jackets until Friday, when the group will distribute the donations at Street Ministries Thanksgiving meal. The easiest way to donate is to reach out to Huerta by email to set up a drop-off time.
In today's internet-run world, everything you post, retweet, or like has the potential to impact your future. And the Lariat's latest special issue, #Filtered, focuses on social media.
LTVN's Noah Torr and Savannah Cooper had the chance to speak with some local coaches to hear how their jobs have changed because of social media.
Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The trifecta of social media apps is a look at who we are, and for recruiting, it has become a game changer, says volleyball assistant coach Samantha Erger.
We've got to do our homework, and social media helps us do our homework in the good and the bad.
Social media has changed the face of recruiting, but is it for the better, or has it complicated a once simple process? According to Baylor's assistant tennis coach Michael Woodson, it enables more communication with his recruits.
Social media has changed me in that I talk on the phone with them less, but I talk to them more.
For colleges, social media not only gives them a chance to evaluate their recruits, but gives the recruits a chance to evaluate the college. Erger says that social media can really be a deciding factor in a recruit coming to campus.
Nowadays, with social media, recruits are coming on campus with an idea of what they're getting themselves into before they even step foot. So they've been able to see and to meet you before they even come in person.
Social media has become an integral part of recruiting. As Coach Erger put it, it's not just icing on the cake, rather it's the whole cake.
Our recruits can show up to Baylor and already the story's already told. They've seen what Baylor's all about without even stepping foot on campus. Now they get to campus and we get to just more vibe with them and build relationship versus having to do all the storytelling in their visit.
But Midway High School's head football coach Jeff Hume says there are negatives to social media as well.
The negative side of it, in my opinion, are the young kids. You know, learning how to post things or learning, you know, what to say and what not to say, and because that can make them look bad, and that's what a university doesn't want to have happen.
Even though recruits sometimes share or make posts that a university may find inappropriate, Hume says we all need to remember one thing.
You know, the thing that everybody has to remember is, you know, young kids are going to make mistakes, and, you know, whether it's with their phone or whether it's in a classroom or whatever, and, you know, it's our job to try to help them learn from that mistake and move forward and not just live in the past.
Social media has changed recruiting forever. Many coaches view it as a tool, while some think it's a disadvantage. And whatever you choose to believe, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. With Lariat TV News, I'm Noah Torr.
The Bears have to secure one more win before they're bowl eligible. Can they take down TCU?
We've got sports coming up with Noah right after this.
It's not just a school to me, it's home.
Home. Everyone's there to help you and to see you succeed.
Challenging.
Challenging.
Like, I'm here, I can do this.
Friends.
Friendship.
Relationships.
There's people that know you and people that are there for you around every corner.
It's the shared experience. Rigorous.
Growth.
Transformative. Tradition.
Tradition.
Faith.
Faith.
I've loved every second of it. It's family.
It's home.
It's Baylor.
After a tough 28-14 loss to Iowa State, Baylor looks to secure bowl eligibility this weekend against TCU. Baylor had over 500 yards on offense against the Cyclones, but were unable to capitalize on scoring opportunities. Head coach Matt Rule said they can't beat themselves this week, and all they need to do is just put the ball in the end zone. TCU's quarterback Mike Collins stepped in to replace injured signal caller Sean Robinson in their game against Oklahoma a couple weeks ago. Baylor looks to contain TCU on defense, but could have trouble without Greg Roberts in the first half because he was suspended after an altercation in the Iowa State game last week. Catch the Bears in action on Saturday at 11 at McLean Stadium. The Lady Bears took on Southern University on Thursday, and despite one big gap in the rotation, Baylor pulled out the win.
The Lady Bears thrashed the Southern University Jaguars on Thursday night in the Farrell Center, 94-49. Despite the absence of Kalani Brown, who was out due to a sprained ankle, the fourth-ranked Lady Bears came out strong against Southern, outscoring them 59-27 in the first half alone. Head coach Kim Mulkey was happy about the win, but says the overall game was not perfect.
It was a game of runs. We looked good in certain spots, and then we didn't look so good in other spots.
The Bears had 29 assists tonight on 33 field goals, and while that sounds like great ball movement, Mulkey says they were almost moving the ball too much.
Sometimes we share the ball too much, quite honestly. We need to have the mentality that when I come off of a screen, I'm going in that paint to score unless somebody stops me.
Catch Baylor in their next game against South Dakota State on November 23rd. With Lariat TV News, I'm Noah Torr.
Men's basketball is starting to show their potential by defeating the Prairie View A&M Panthers 91-80 in a full-team effort on Monday night. Freshman guard Jared Butler earned player of the game after stepping off the bench and scoring 22 points. And sophomore forward Tristan Clark went perfect from the field and got the crowd out of their seats with a block that then turned into a dunk after an assist from senior guard King McClure. The men play Nicholls State at 11 a.m. on Friday at home. The number 2 ranked Baylor soccer team came out on top in the first round of the NCAA Soccer Championships after battling Abilene Christian.
It's a good enough team with a only being up 1-0, where they're one breakaway away from tying the game. And we talked about that at halftime, and they took care of business. They did that.
One goal, especially in these type of games, is really not enough. So I think it is really nice to get that second goal, kind of have a little bit of insurance.
Everybody right now is winning, moving on and winning. So and it doesn't get any easier. I mean, the NCAA has put the Big 12 regular season champions against the SEC regular season champions in the second round, and I think that's crazy, but it'll be a fantastic match, and we've had a tough schedule all year, so we'll be ready for that.
That victory against Abilene Christian allows the Bears to play at home again for the second round of the tournament. They'll face number 13 Vanderbilt at 7 p.m. on Friday at Betty Lou Mays Field. Now, for the first time in program history, all the games will be on Facebook Live, and you can find all those games at Baylor's soccer page. And that's your sports update for this Friday.
Thanks for watching Lariat TV News Today.
We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great Thanksgiving break.